Hello?
Whitney,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Whitney Way Thor's father Glenn ended up in an energy situation and was rushed to the hospital. The My Big Fat Fabulous Life star shared information about the accident and gave fans an update on Glenn's condition. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel My Big Fat Fabulous Life. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. What exactly happened and will Glenn pull through? See what Whitney shared online today. Whitney Way Thor informs fans about her father's terrible accident. MBFFL fans know just how much Whitney Way Thor adores her parents. This season, fans are watching the Thor family grieve the loss of Babs, the family matriarch. Since she passed away, Whitney has spent a lot of time with her father Glenn. Fans love and appreciate that she's looking after him. That's why fans were so alarmed when Whitney revealed that Glenn was in a pretty serious car accident recently. This helicopter daughter is helicoptering. Hug your daddies tight. Glenn Thor will be protected at all costs. Whitney captioned her Instagram post. Over the weekend I got one of those calls that you never want to get. My dad had been in a wreck. Luckily, he was just a few minutes away from my house, so I was able to get there quickly, the TLC said in a voiceover. She included images from the wreck, which indicated that it was a pretty serious accident. He'd been trying to cross an intersection when a driver coming the opposite way ran a red light and slammed into him. That driver and his passenger are fine. They were just really shaken up. I'm glad he's ok. I'd be a helicoptering daughter if my parents were still alive too. You're a wonderful daughter, one fan wrote in the comments. So very thankful Glenn is okay, and hopefully will heal up well. Another added, fortunately, it seems like Glenn Thor will be just fine. Car accidents can be frightening for everyone involved. But the good news is that it seems like Glenn will be all right. My dad thought that he broke his ribs, so we headed over to the ER where we were there for a very short 6 hours. And he had x-rays and scans and a CAT scan. And it determined that he didn't break his ribs, but he does have a broken bone in his ankle, and he's got a very large hematoma on his leg. Whitney continued in the voiceover. She went on to say that her father was experiencing a lot of pain. However, he refused to take any morphine the hospital offered him. Are you surprised to hear about Glenn Thor's accident? What do you think about the situation? Be sure to leave your opinions in the comments. Follow TV shows Ace and check back soon for the latest news on Whitney Way Thor and My Big Fat Fabulous Life. Whitney Way Thor, star of the reality TV show My Big Fat Fabulous Life, had always been open about the ups and downs of her life. Fans had followed her journey with her family, her career, and her health. They had celebrated her victories and supported her through her challenges. But nothing could have prepared Whitney or her fans for the news she was about to share. It was a typical sunny afternoon in Greensboro, North Carolina, when Whitney received the call that would change everything. Her father, Glenn Thor, had been rushed to the hospital. The gravity of the situation was immediately clear from her mother Barbara's trembling voice on the other end of the line. Whitney, you need to come to the hospital. It's your dad. He's had a heart attack, Barbara managed to say, her voice cracking with emotion. Whitney felt a wave of panic wash over her. Her father, Glenn, had always been a pillar of strength and stability in her life. He was the man she looked up to, her rock in times of trouble. The thought of him being vulnerable and in pain was almost unbearable. Without a moment's hesitation, Whitney grabbed her car keys and rushed to the hospital, her heart pounding in her chest. She felt a mix of fear, anxiety, and determination. She had to be strong for her family, for her mother, and most importantly, for her father. Arriving at the hospital, Whitney was met by her brother, Hunter, who had already been there for some time. The look on his face told her everything she needed to know. The situation was serious. They're running tests and doing everything they can, Hunter explained, trying to keep his voice steady. Mom's with him now. He was conscious when they brought him in. Whitney nodded, feeling a slight sense of relief, knowing that her father was at least conscious. She took a deep breath and made her way to the waiting room where her mother was sitting, her face etched with worry. Mom, how is he? Whitney asked, sitting down beside Barbara and taking her hand. Barbara sighed, tears welling up in her eyes. He's stable for now, but they're monitoring him closely. They said it was a severe heart attack, and they're doing everything they can. Whitney squeezed her mother's hand, trying to offer comfort. Dad's a fighter. He's going to get through this. The waiting room was filled with a tense silence as the family awaited updates from the doctors. Each minute felt like an eternity. Whitney's mind raced with thoughts and memories of her father. She remembered the countless times he had been there for her, offering guidance and support. Now it was her turn to be there for him. Hours later, a doctor finally approached the family. His expression was serious but not devoid of hope. Mr. Thorne is stable, but he did suffer a significant heart attack. The doctor began. We're going to need to perform some more tests and possibly a procedure to ensure his heart is functioning properly. He's in good hands, and we're doing everything we can. Whitney and her family listened intently, taking in every word. The doctor explained the next steps and assured them that they would be kept informed throughout the process. "Can we see him?" Whitney asked, her voice trembling with a mix of hope and fear. The doctor nodded. "Yes, you can see him now, but please be mindful that he needs rest." Whitney and Barbara made their way to Glenn's room, their hearts heavy with worry. When they saw him lying in the hospital bed, hooked up to monitors and IVs, it was a sight that brought tears to their eyes. But despite his condition, Glenn managed a weak smile when he saw his wife and daughter. "Hey there," he said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. Whitney stepped closer, taking his hand. "Hey, Dad, we're here, and we're not going anywhere." Barbara leaned in, pressing a kiss to Glenn's forehead. "You gave us quite a scare, you know." Glenn chuckled weakly. "I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to be okay, I promise." The next few days were a blur of medical updates, tests, and procedures. Glenn underwent an angioplasty to clear a blocked artery, and the doctors closely monitored his recovery. Whitney spent as much time as she could at the hospital, balancing her commitments with the need to be there for her family. Fans of My Big Fat Fabulous Life began to notice Whitney's absence from social media and her usual activities. Concerned messages and well wishes flooded her accounts as people speculated about what might be happening. Whitney decided it was time to address her fans and let them know what was going on. She took to Instagram, posting a heartfelt message along with a photo of her and her father. "Hi everyone, I wanted to let you all know that my dad, Glenn, had a heart attack and is currently in the hospital. It's been a difficult and scary time for our family, but he's receiving excellent care and we're hopeful for a full recovery. Please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Your support means the world to us. Thank you." The outpouring of love and support from her fans was overwhelming. People from all over the world sent messages of encouragement, sharing their own stories of recovery and offering prayers for Glenn's health. The Thor family was touched by the incredible support they received from their community and fans. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers reached out, offering to help in any way they could. Meals were delivered to their home, and people volunteered to assist with errands and other tasks. Whitney's close friends also rallied around her, providing much-needed emotional support. Her best friend, Buddy, was a constant presence, offering a shoulder to lean on and helping with anything the family needed. "You're not alone in this, Whit," Buddy said one evening as they sat together in the hospital waiting room. "We've got your back." Whitney smiled through her tears, grateful for the support. "I don't know what I'd do without you all. Thank you for being here." As Glenn's condition stabilized, the family began to look towards the future. The doctors were optimistic about his recovery, but they emphasized the importance of making lifestyle changes to support his heart health. This meant adjustments to his diet, incorporating regular exercise, and managing stress levels. "We're in this together, Dad," Whitney said during one of their conversations. "We'll make whatever changes we need to. Your health is the most important thing." Glenn nodded, appreciating the commitment from his family. "I know, and I'm ready to do whatever it takes." Chapter 6. A New Chapter. With Glenn's release from the hospital, the Thor family embarked on a new chapter focused on health and wellness. They worked together to create a supportive environment that would help Glenn recover and thrive. This included cooking heart-healthy meals, finding enjoyable physical activities, and making time for relaxation and stress management. Whitney, known for her love of dance and movement, introduced her father to low-impact exercises that were gentle on his heart but still effective.